Hey, what's going on, everybody? A special guest here. It's Will Smith, the winning pitcher from the regional, the Hattiesburg Regional final. Will, it's got to be exciting. He pitched great. Fans were excited. I know this team is excited to get that first regional win since 2016. There were a lot of things that stood out to me with the press conference and some things that we'll get into here. But what was it like last night? What was it like playing in that game, the atmosphere, and if you can kind of explain a little bit of the mood of the team today, as you guys are still in there in Hattiesburg.
No, I mean you can't even make that stuff up, man. That they got a good ballpark here in Hattiesburg. Great fans. Get a little chirpy, but after everything was over, they're really nice. And just the game in general was just war. I felt like we were at war the whole time, and just getting after it. And the boys were just ready for the challenge at all times. And honestly, we got back to the hotel. I mean, it was just everybody was fired up. We're listening to Waka Flocka on the bus. Um, and today we're just ready to roll. We went and got a lift and ran, and everybody's ready to just get to Louisville and keep going.
How about you personally? JD mentioned he hadn't pitched since the 20th. He hadn't been in the regional yet. Um, Being ready for that moment, I assume you kind of felt like you would get that opportunity. It was likely you would. But to go season high, the 3 innings, you threw 38 pitches. As it was going on, we're watching your emotions, everything. What was it like for you personally, being a part, playing well, being a big part of the success there in that game?
It's unbelievable, man. I've played in that regional championship game for 3 years in a row now. I lost that game every time, and I'm telling you, we talked as a team. We were just like we weren't going to let it happen. There's just no way we were going to lose that game yesterday, and I enjoyed every bit of it, and I love the fans getting on you. I love the big crowds. It was just you can't even make it up. It was unreal. I think I went to sleep at like 6:15 last night, just looking on the phone, just like watching over and stuff. It was unreal, man. It's unreal.
Yeah, that's great. In the post-game press conference, you made a comment. I don't know if everybody caught it there. I'm going to play it here for people as we're going to show people. But you made a comment, JD, and this is kind of I don't know you real well, Will, but just kind of seeing your personality, it didn't surprise me for you to say this about when JD was saying a lot of this is reality of kind of postseason baseball, and you kind of lose sight of it in the fact that it's double elimination, but then all of a sudden it's one loss and teams can go home. A lot of teams had went home, but coach mentioned, look, there's a lot of guys on this team that could be hanging up the cleats, and he turned to you about softball, and I heard your State Farm comment.
We had a lot of guys on this roster that today could have been their last game. Last time putting on cleats, I don't think you wear cleats in softball, right?
No, not a State Farm either.
But a lot of guys woke up this morning. This could have been their last day.
What is that like? Going into games now, and especially baseball, so much is the next day. You get the next day, but it's not promised at this time of year. What's kind of the mentality with that, and so many of your guys, and maybe if you could allude on the comment a little bit.
We got a good group of older guys. We got a good amount of them, which kind of keeps us all balanced. We got the older guys, keep the younger guys even keeled, no matter what. But man, it was just. It's just awesome, man. I don't even know how to explain it, man. JD has done an awesome job this year with all of us, keeping us as a tight knit group, and just the way he goes about himself every day and consistent, and making sure we know that every day is a new day, and knowing that we don't have that next day, it really puts the emphasis on that day. I think everybody's come out and just ready to rock and roll and just give us the best shot. And I think when we go out there and we do that, I feel like it relieves a lot of pressure from everybody.
Well, before we got started, I said I want to kind of get into this culture of the team and kind of get your take on this. I'm fascinated. I'm just there as an observer. I watch you guys and kind of watch the interactions and kind of I listen to what JD has to say. But even during the game, when I was talking to some of the fans during the live chat, I said some of this is hard for me to describe how close you guys appear to be. Can you put that into words and maybe what this has been like? You touched on you've been in, this is year 6 for you. You've been on 5 teams there at Coastal Carolina. Can you put into words the culture and maybe touch on JD, the staff, and how they integrated? And you guys had so many new guys, so it seems like it's all come together. And not just now. We're not talking about the winning at the end of the year. This process. Can you try to explain what it is like with your group here?
Well, I mean, it's different, man, and like all college sports are the same way. You go through trials and tribulations with your brothers, man, and eventually you do that enough, and they're really your blood brothers. You trust them with your life, no matter what. And I feel like throughout the season, that's only brought us closer. But I think bringing in all new guys, when nobody had an idea. I mean, I'm from Conway, South Carolina. I'm pulling up in Mr. Pitbull, Mr. 305 over there. I have no idea what's going on. So we kind of all figured out Miami together and kind of used that as a tool to bring us together.
Well, we talked so much about the culture. I'm curious about your thoughts on JD and what he's been able to do. Seems like such an even kill guy. He talks about zero and zero mentality all the time. What does that mean? And maybe what is his impact on you guys? What do you think that's been? And you're a guy that's played for different coaches. What you've been around? What are your thoughts on JD and what he's been able to kind of build with you guys this year?
He's awesome, man. It's really, again, like family. If I ever had a problem or I ever needed something, like, I know I could call him and he would answer at 2:30 in the morning or 7 o'clock at night. He would stop what he's doing. And just having that in the back of our heads, I mean, again, I mean, he's just unbelievable. You go out, you can show up to the park loose because that guy has your back and everyone else has your back. And the way that JD kind of formed us together, it was perfect, man. I have nothing but respect for JD, and I couldn't imagine playing. I mean, he's gonna be coaching for a long time. He's gonna do a great job.
It seems like a lot of guys would have that sentiment, right? I mean, the way not just
100%.
yourself, but just the way a lot of you guys probably feel about JD and the staff there.
100%. We could go to war and we'd be confident.
Yeah, you got so many of you guys, different places, come from different places, different parts of the country. Obviously, there are some local guys here as well. When did you feel like this team had that good connection? Was it last summer? When did that process? When did you kind of feel like this team had that part of it together? Obviously, you got to have the other things and playing well and all the pieces that takes to win games. But when did you kind of start to notice? Was there some things that stood out to you of like, hey, this is a good group here?
I think in the fall it takes probably 2 or 3 weeks for everybody to just get comfortable and be yourselves, and I think once you get 2 or 3 weeks in, I mean, you could just tell the difference in practices and the way we're communicating with each other on and off the field. Somebody messes up, we're just making fun of him, messing with him for a little bit. And, he gets the gist, he messed up, he knows what he did wrong. But just the way we interact through the negative stuff and the positive stuff is really consistent. And everybody just enjoys it, man. Like, if you go out there and make an error, like, yeah, it sucks, but go out there and hit a bomb, man. So I think after those 2 or 3 weeks in the fall, and you kind of get to know the real people instead of them kind of being a little standoffish or whatever, it really just clicked like that, man. You could tell a difference in practices the next day and all that.
Yeah, we touched on with Conway there, and I remember on senior day, and you get the announcement, and you're listening to everybody else's announcement, and they called you the Fresh Prince of Conway there, and everyone had a good chuckle. 5 years at Coastal there. Looking back, your decision to why Miami? Why was it to continue the career? Why did you pick Miami? If you could explain maybe some of those decisions and why you felt it was a good fit. And JD talked about it when we talked last offseason. It wasn't always about, they wanted good players, obviously, but they were paying so close attention to trying to get good pieces, guys that fit. So I'm sure they identified you as a guy as well. But why was Miami a choice for you there?
So my 5 years at Coastal, I didn't play every year. I didn't throw a pitch to my junior year. Got injured. So that period, I learned a lot of kind of like how the college baseball world works and all that. Like team chemistry, that's what wins it, man. I mean, everybody has bunt defenses and everybody can hit the ball over the fence, man, but not everybody can trust all 8 guys on the field with them at all points of the time. So that's a huge role in just how I go about my business. I'm a big team guy and I want to win more than anything. If I didn't even throw in the regional, I wouldn't have cared if we were sitting here today as a winner. But it's Miami was unbelievable. I hit the portal. I called Coop, and honestly, I haven't talked to. Normally the portal calls are 5, 10 minutes, and me and Coop sat there and talked for 45, 50 minutes. Talked to JA, Laz, JD, and it's just an awesome staff, man. It was family right away. I actually committed before I even came on a visit. That's how much I liked them. So just their selling points on winning championships and making a team, a family. I was all on board.
Well, let's stay with this family. The bullpen. Every baseball team, the bullpen, they have an interesting connection with each other. And you guys had the interesting situation where a couple guys leave the bullpen and go to the starting rotation, but pitchers are all together with all your activities and thing. But what can you say about this bullpen group and just kind of, just the different personalities? You got Rob Evans does his football throw before. I watch Carson do his handshakes. I've seen you do your stuff and talk to guys. And even the starters, just watching Griffin, for example, when he's not pitching, he's leading the rag arm chants. A very energetic group you've got there. What can you say about the bullpen and the pitchers you guys got together there?
I tell you what, pitchers are always weird. You never get a normal pitcher. Um, but Griffin has done just an outstanding job in the dugout and just keeping us upbeat and just setting the tone early and often. And the transition Brian Walters made to the bullpen is just on. I mean, that kid's he's unhittable. Just honestly, I enjoy watching him warm up before he goes in the game. That's how good he is. And just the way he carries himself, that mentality, bulldog mentality. You got Rob over there slinging the football, and he's a dog too. You got Cleve, you got Lump out there now too. You got a lot of moving parts, man. But Laz does a good job keeping us together, and we know how to mesh off of each other. Like we know what you can say to somebody and what you can't say to the other person. You know what I mean? To get them clicking and stuff. So again, just knowing each other and just being a family and knowing how each other work. I really think that's played a huge part in our recent success.
And I didn't mention, just it's been fun kind of watching AJ and Tate go through the process of being starters as young guys, and they certainly helped you. Tate obviously had the rough one there. Reese stepped up as another guy there. Will, I am curious to this too. The intangibles we're all talking about, those kinds of things. You talked a lot about the looseness of your group, but there's also this competitive fire. We saw it in your performance. We see it with a lot of the pitchers, a lot of guys. That balance of essentially the play, enjoy it, that kind of thing, and then that bulldog mentality. How do you kind of weigh that in terms of and the hitters too? We're getting to the hitters, what you kind of your perspective there, but just maybe the keys to that balance of having fun, but obviously working towards a success to getting success.
So I would say honestly in the dugout, like I'd say the bulldog mentality, at least for in my eyes, it doesn't come out until I'm warming up in the bullpen, about to go into the game. That's when I'm just like I'm a different human. And then after that, right in the dugout, and I'm Griff saying rag arm, I'm saying welcome. So it's really just kind of when you're in the game or you're about to go in the game, like that's when you flip the switch and you're a different person. I think what's helped our pitchers a lot too is I feel like every pitcher that we've thrown out there is treating every inning at like the ninth inning. So I think it brings energy to the dugout. It gets our hitters back up to the plate quicker, and I think you're seeing a reflection of that.
What can you say about the hitters? Start with Cuvée, and I had posted a video recently of you just essentially enjoying a big hit in batting practice, just kind of watching that guy work. What is Cuvée like, and kind of how everyone kind of watches him and seeing what he's been able to do, especially the second half, the tear that he's been on.
That kid is unbelievable. He's also a goofball too. I need that to be known. He's an absolute goofball. And it's actually funny. He came up to me probably when he started heating up because I'm sorry it took me so long. And I'm tell you what, I don't think I've seen him miss a baseball since. Every time, even when he's taking, he's on it. He's fouling them off. He's just missing them. Like he's an unbelievable hitter. Digo behind him is a huge role. Max heating up. I mean, we're just clicking right now, and we're just going to ride the high. I mean, hitters are doing their thing, and pitchers are going out there and trying not to let them score more runs than us.
What is that connection as a team? The hitters, pitchers. How would you kind of clarify all of that and classify? How would you kind of say how you guys all get along? We touched on the pitchers group, but I just kind of watch. It's again. I'm watching from afar, just watching the interactions. It's fun seeing guys interact with each other. It doesn't seem like it's always the same interaction where you have your good couple friends on a team. I kind of watch a lot of different interactions with a lot of you guys. What's it like the team stuff with the hitters and pitchers?
It's awesome, man. If you had the opportunity to come to one of our practices in the spring now, you would enjoy every bit of it. We're doing PFPs in left field, and Ogden might boot a ball or like during practice or whatever, and we're Ogden, come on, man, lock in, and messing with him and all that. I'll shank a ball or I'll pull a ball and well, just messing with us. So just keeping it light during practice, and honestly, everything we do, I don't think anything we really do like we're not like we're never tight. That's the only thing. We're never tight. Our group is gonna be loose. We're gonna be together, and we're gonna punch you in the face, man. And if you don't bounce back, then we're gonna beat you down.
Will, you touched on earlier mentality in terms of when it's go time, essentially. You're locked in, different guy. Can you explain your routine? You put the hat down there before you go to the mound. Where did that come from? It's a unique thing. Every player, pitcher, I mean, hitters draw in the dirt. They do all kinds of things. Where does your before you get ready to go, where does that come from? And kind of what are you doing in that moment there?
You're gonna laugh at this one. So actually, last year in the Sun Belt tournament, I came in and it was so hot. I mean, it was the hottest day of the year. I'm sweating like crazy, and I'm actually about to throw up. So I dropped my glove, and I'm just like standing there. I'm just like thinking in my head, breathing. I pitched great, so I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing it. So that's how that kind of came about. But honestly, just whenever they call your name, man, it's not even like you're doing it for yourself. You don't care about anything else other than just going out there and trying to win, man. And I think we have a team full of winners. I don't think any of us enjoy losing at all. And we'll do anything in our power not to lose.
Any game day routines that you got going on? Essentially, how you get ready at game days that you've learned over the process of being a collegiate athlete here. Is there anything in particular that you like to do, like to eat? Is something you have to do when you get to the park? Because as a reliever, you got to be ready at all moments, essentially.
No, for sure. So I go with the Save the Bullets train because I'm 23, probably got some arthritis going. So I go on the Save the Bullets train. So I don't throw pregame. I'll hit fungos. I'll move around. I'll stretch. I always get a NOS energy drink, the big dog with the little cap, just for the noise. Get the boys going. But other than that, just wait until they say somebody get hot, and then it's go time.
Well, this is great. I know a lot of people enjoyed not just the team success. Every Miami fan enjoys that. They enjoyed watching you play, the way you play, the way you go about it. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I've enjoyed watching you go through this. So definitely best of luck. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna go win one for us.